See in this burned area how you get all the new fresh leaves and stuff coming up. Little fresh little plants for the animals to eat. It's all over the place. New grass and new stuff with leaves and all for the animals to eat. So that's just being aware of the food sources that are out here. When you're out here tracking and searching like this and stuff. Being aware of food sources. All that stuff there's new after the fire. Food for the animals to be eating. See how the fire doesn't kill the little pine trees either. See how they already got new growth spurting out on top. Even the little ones. They have new growth spurting out. Up there on the top of them. So you can see they're all like that. All the small pine trees have got the new growth growing back up out of them. And then it burns off all the vegetation and you got a lot of new growth coming up that all the animals eat on. Alright, well I'm sitting here taking a break for a few minutes. I wanted to add a little something in here to the tracking video that I'm working on. And that's about camouflage. You can use camouflage if you're filming wildlife or if you're hunting. In some instances, if you're fishing, you can use camouflage. But what I want to talk about is like blending in, especially if you're out here outdoors like this. You want to get out here and film some wildlife, or get out here, especially like turkey hunting. Turkeys have really good eyesight. So as you can see, wearing camouflage stuff like this, I pretty well blend in. But like the human face, our face, like mine is white, so it stands out. So that's why turkey hunting, we either use face paint, like greens and blacks and browns and stuff, or I'll either use the head net, the net that covers my head is camouflage. And it's got a leaf pattern on it like this too, something like this, so it gives you it camouflages your face. It helps keep from being able to see the pink color skin. That kind of stands out here in the woods like this. So there's several different manufacturers of camouflage face paint that you can get and use for that. There's several different manufacturers of the head nets. Any of the you can find them online. You can find them at Walmart in the hunting section. You can find them at Bass Pro Shops, places like that. You can get that camouflage net or put over your head and your face. Alright, so I just want to talk a little bit about camouflage like that. And then being dressed camouflage like this. So if you're sitting here and you're filming wildlife, and not moving a whole lot. You don't want to be moving around a whole lot either. It helps keep you camouflaged. That's why like turkeys have really good eyesight. They see movement. And that's how I catch a lot of stuff that I do on film. Because I'll see the movement and then I can start filming them. Anyway, that's the one thing about camouflage I wanted to add in. raccoon. Nice healthy raccoon coming around the edge of the swamp there. He come out in the trail over there when I seen him. I think he heard me moving around when I was trying to move the camera. I thought I heard something moving and I seen him moving. You can check the wind with this. This is called a wind detector. This one's made by Dead Downwind. So it's a wind detector. So what it does is just a powder. You puff it out. And you can see which way the wind is blowing. So see right now the wind's coming this way. See it with the GoPro. So the wind's blowing through here pretty good. So it's blowing that way. These are work pretty good for hunting and stuff too. You can tell which way the wind's blowing. So like right now, if there was something coming up that way, a deer or a hog or something, they could smell me because it's blowing my scent that way. But if something's coming from the trail down there, it's not going to smell me because the wind's blowing my scent away from it. Or if something comes up behind me back here in that opening area, it wouldn't be able to smell me. So you can use that for checking the wind direction for places you get into like this. So even if you're going to sit down and film wildlife, you can use that to tell which way the wind's blowing. You'll be able to tell if they'll be able to smell you or not before they get to you. So right through here we got hog tracks. There's raccoon tracks. That's a hog track there. There's a raccoon. And there's a turkey track. That's a turkey track there. I saw that this morning on the way in. So one thing I've been trying to do out here is use the sonar chart for the animal feeding times. So today, Saturday the 9th, is showing a great day for hunting and fishing, and it's the major feeding time is 9:28 a.m. to 11:28 a.m. That's the major feeding time. Alright, so like I said, you're hearing the wind a lot. So let me show you this stuff here. This is made by Dead Downwind. They make stuff that's no scent, so the animals can't smell you. So this is a wind detector. So if you can see that, it puts out a little puff of powder, and then you can tell which way the wind's blowing. So it's blowing to my right into the woods behind me here. So that means anything out there on the trail, anything comes out in front of the camera down there, the wind's blowing away from that direction, so it wouldn't be able to smell me. So out here walking through here, I could see this grass right there's been mashed down. So you're looking for anything like that, anything out of place. And then there's a big spot right there where it's been flattened out too on the ground. So as I'm looking here, and then I can see right here is part of a boot track. And then there's another one that's part of a boot track. Then I get over here and I'm seeing more. It's more of a boot track. You can see the tread in it. So by just looking at little details like that. So that grass has been mashed down right there. Looking at little details like that, I can tell that somebody's been in here. Another hunter's been through here. The area here that I'm hunting. So just being a tracker and looking for tracks, looking for sign. And doing that, I could tell somebody's walked through here. Here's more of a boot print. So I could tell a hunter's walked through here. It's been within the last couple of days. One thing you want to watch too is the weather. So it hasn't rained out here in a few days. It was like 4 days ago when it rained. So that's just like a couple days old. So you just want to look for any little details. Any of the pine needles mashed into the ground, or the grass mashed down into the ground. Stuff like that when you're tracking. So watching the weather, knowing when it rained last, and also watching it for when you're out here. So you know, if you got to bring ponchos, and if you're filming, make sure you're bringing stuff to cover up your cameras if you get rained on, or if you get caught in a storm. So there's 2 trees up there. I was just looking at them. That looks kind of interesting. I'll get a little closer to him and take another look. So just pan around here a little bit and show you what it looks like right here, where I'm at. So just looking at those, and there's a pretty good animal trail right here. So that goes across and right into the water. It's not deep. I can see the bottom. I can see a broke off branch laying there on the bottom. It's a nice well-used trail right there. It goes across over there. I was just looking at those two trees. They do touch up there. So this is a pretty interesting area. This is where that hunter from Florida on the Steve Vistall email there, the hunter had his encounters over here, right here where I'm at. And I'm really close to that upside down tree that I found back there. That trident that I seen this morning. I'll film it in a few minutes too with the camcorder. It was too dark this morning. I only filmed it with the thermal camera. But this is an animal trail going right through here, right into that water. And that's not an alligator trail. That's an animal trail. And there's not much water. There's not a whole lot of water there. So There's no alligator in it. As you can see the bottom real good. Alright. There's that one pine tree here that looks really odd shaped. The way the branches are, it just doesn't look normal. I was just noticing how everything got real quiet. There's a little bit of birds now. Everything kind of got real quiet for a minute. But there's that odd shaped tree. And then right up here is that tree that's upside down. That leaning tree that's upside down. So right there's that tree that's upside down. The big end is up in the air. That should be down at the bottom. And then that trident's right up here too. I'll film that when I get up here to it. So I know one thing I've been doing out here when I'm out here filming in the area here where I've been hunting and where I used to hunt, I get into like a mode where I'm in a hunting mode. So I know I get quiet and I talk quietly. I'll talk softly and quietly. So I know I have to start watching that when I'm doing my videos here filming. I'll try not to talk so quietly. So I'll try to make sure y'all can hear what I'm saying. I know too, it depends on the camera that I'm using at the time. the camcorder here, it picks up sound better. And I was using the GoPro with a microphone, and then I took the microphone off for a while. So now I've got another microphone to put back on it. But that is one thing too when you're out here. And at least to me, one thing you need to be kind of quiet, especially if you're out here filming wildlife. You don't want them to hear you and hear you talking and have them scare them off before you can start filming them. Or you hear them run off in the distance before you can start filming them. So I think that trident's right up here, close by. I see the cypress trees are starting to turn green again now. The leaves are turning green. The camcorder battery died on me right there. Alright, so here's that trident. So I filmed it with the thermal camera this morning. It looks just like the one I filmed in the corridor. So it was too dark to film it with the camcorder this morning. But we got that, and then we got those two 16-inch footprints I found right up here, right up around the corner. It really stands out a little ways back. So I'm seeing some footprints through here, but I saw boot prints too, boot tracks back there that were clearly boot tracks. So I don't know if it's all boot tracks that I'm seeing. This is really hard ground. So this is another thing too, like seeing something out of place. See that branch right there? It was laying right there. You can see that little slot where it was. So probably one of the hunters walking through here has kicked it. You can see where it was laying, and now it's been moved over to there. But that's probably what moved it. It's just one of the little things to look for. This is something I've always done hunting. And I think any out here looking for a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, they're going to be very still most of the time, and I think this is the same kind of technique that they use. But you can see as I'm starting to come around the corner here, and you can see way up the trail. So what I'll do, I'll use this bush, this tree right here in front of me as cover. So if something's out in the trail or coming across the trail, it can't see me, because I'm camouflaged by this tree here, all this green. And it can't, if something was to come out in the trail down there, it can't see me. Anytime you're hunting, you would want to do something like that. Because then you can ease out and peek out around the trail. And I'll do that when I'm hunting too. I'll get in a spot like this. When I'm hunting, I can get in a spot like this and I can stand here and watch down the trail. And my body, my outline is blocked by all these different tree limbs here and leaves. And as I turn here, anything that pops out in that trail right there, I got all these leaves and all behind me. And I'm camouflaged. So I blend in. And then same thing here. If anything comes down the trail behind me here, I got these leaves and all behind me, and I'm camouflaged, so I blend in. It makes it harder for something to see me standing here. And that's one thing too you would do with turkey hunting. Turkeys have really good eyes and they see movement. Any little movement you make, they'll see it and they'll take off. So any kind of Bigfoot, Sasquatch that's living out here and hunting out here, they're going to know all these techniques like that, and they're going to use them. That's why you see them peeking out from behind the tree. You're not getting, not really getting any movement from them. They're going to stand there or sit there and be very still and watch anything that's moving around. I'm trying to move my head slow too for the GoPro, because I noticed from my footage from last weekend I was moving my head a lot. I'm always looking around and surveying around the area, observing everything, watching for movement. I'm looking up the trees, I'm watching behind me, things like that. The predator will come up behind you and attack you from behind. So you always want to watch behind you. From time to time, look behind you. And you always want to look up in the trees too, for the same reason. So something else you want to do too when you're coming up to a curve in the trail like this. See how that palmetto, the palmetto's got a little V to it. So you can kind of ease over a little bit and see right through that V. So you can see down the trail. So that tree and the palmettos has your outline covered, and back here you're camouflaged from that. That leaves you a way to peek out into the trail ahead with not much of your body being able to be seen. So see, right now I got the camera at eye level to me. So as I get up here, only like my head and my shoulder can be seen above these palmettos. And you can see out on the trail there without being seen. And also, whenever you're out here, I was talking about being in like a quiet mode and being pretty quiet. So one thing you can do if you got to sneeze or cough is try to do it quietly, like try to cough into your elbow or sneeze into your elbow. If you have time, try to take a glove or a rag and put it over your mouth to muffle it. So you can take and muffle it down. It makes it hard to hear. And also if you get down low to the ground when you do it, so when you're coughing, if you can get down here lower to the ground and cough and muffle it. And if you have to, even stick some of your rag or your glove in your mouth itself to help muffle your sound. But that'll help muffle it. And then getting down low like this, the sound won't carry as much when you're down low to the ground. When you're up higher, standing up doing it, the sound will carry a lot more. So coughing or sneezing a sneeze can come on quick, and you may not have time to do anything, but just try to put your mouth into your elbow or your into your bicep as much as you can. But getting down low, even if you can get down low when you do that, it'll keep the sound down. So just being quiet out here is that'll help you to be quiet. Muffling your sneeze or muffling your cough, especially your cough. If you feel your cough coming on, you know you're gonna be you can kind of tell you're gonna be coughing for a minute. Get down low and muffle it with a rag or your glove or something like that, or even into your bicep or your elbow with your arm in your clothing. Muffle it as much as you can. That'll help you stay quiet. That's just a part of being quiet out here in the woods. Whether you're filming wildlife or you're hunting, or you're out here trying to track something, that's a part of being quiet. So something else too, I've been showing the Sharpening Our chart quite a bit. Now today it was showing it was average, and the major feeding time was 5:06 a.m. to 7:06 a.m. So that means it was it was ending just after daylight, or right around daylight. Daylight was actually sunrise. Sunrise was actually 7:12 this morning, and then there was a minor feeding time. So there's a minor feeding time this morning at 10:40 a.m. The one on the bottom there. It lasts for an hour, 10:40 a.m. to 11:40 a.m. So you can use that for hunting or fishing. You can use it when you're out here filming wildlife. So you can use these to help you know when the animals will be moving. The most likely the animals will be moving. So like today was an average. It said average for the time for an average day for out here hunting or fishing. And then sometimes it'll show it's a poor day, sometimes it'll show it's the best day, stuff like that. Alright, so I want to keep showing these Sharpening Our charts a little here and there. And I've been kind of watching and comparing too with some of the animals. Like I filmed otters during the night that were out during the major feeding time. They were out playing and feeding. Alright, y'all, I'm back at the truck. Yeah. Get this tailgate down, and I'll get the set up the tripod here on the camcorder, and I'll just let it sit here a minute and film down the road. Then I'll start getting my gear put up. Get my shotgun right there. So I haven't seen any vehicles. Well, there's no vehicles around me. I've seen a few this morning. There was a few vehicles this morning that coming in, and then a few went by here as I was getting ready to walk in. So I had a few vehicles go by me. So there's a few people in here turkey hunting. Turn my thermocell off. Alright, I'm gonna get me a cold water and get the rest of my gear off. I think I'll have me a coconut water. Alright, having coconut water. Really healthy for you. So for the most part I drink stuff like this, coconut water, usually like once a day, usually in the mornings or sometimes in the afternoon to help with like replenish electrolytes and stuff. I drink a lot of water, especially when I'm working. Drink a lot of water. Just try to be healthy. I do drink a few sodas. I usually have a couple cans of soda in the evenings. Usually either Coca-Cola or Sprite. Those are my favorites. But other than that, I try to pretty much drink pretty healthy, eat pretty healthy. I don't eat too much of the junk foods. Try not to. But I don't really crave them either. Alright, so I'm going to let that film down the road for a few minutes while I get the truck unlocked and start getting my stuff put up. See how that goes. Alright, hopefully you can see me there. So a couple of my videos in the past, and you can find them on my survival videos, where I show how to use a compass. I'll show how to use a compass even if you get lost and haven't used it yet. So that's one thing that I like to try to make sure people know you need a compass. So you should be carrying a compass with you. And then you should be carrying a map also. I don't know if I got it in the frame good. It's hard to see the little that screen. It's hard to see that screen when there's sunlight out. But anyway, you can go online and print out maps like these. Like I did here. You can go online and print out maps. And then you can get maps like these, usually at the trailhead entrances. So you should be carrying a map and a compass. Even if you don't look at it before you go in, I'll show in a couple of my videos how to use the compass to find your way out if you get lost. So that's 2 vehicles that just came by. So there's a few people out here hunting. But anyway, I can't stress that enough to people to carry a compass with you, and at least watch my couple videos and learn how to use it. So if you get lost, you can find the trail again. Even if you don't use it at your vehicle, when you get out of the vehicle, you can still use it to find the trail. So I like to try to stress that to people. Alright, so I guess I'll get everything turned off here.